To begin this core yoga blast video, lie down on your back and bring your knees up over the hips. Flex the feet, reach the arms up high. As you press your low back down into the mat, draw the belly in. Drop the left arm and right leg. Reach it long. Bring that heel to hover. Inhale to reach the fingers overhead. Exhale to crunch back towards the middle, bringing the knee in. Inhale for length. Exhale to lift. Repeat this 10, 12 times on one side, and then switch, dropping the right arm overhead and the left leg. Inhale for length. Exhale to bring back to center. Keep pressing the low back down into the mat, dropping your heel to hover. Inhale length, exhale center. 10 to 12 reps on this side. Keeping the feet flexed. And lower the feet down to the mat. We'll bring the hands and clasp them behind the head. Take the feet a little wider than hips. In yoga, we perform crunches a lot slower. So take a deep breath. And as you exhale, peel the shoulder blades and head up off the mat. Inhale to lower back down. As you exhale, crunch the belly, draw the low belly in, and inhale to lower head and shoulders back down. Keeping the elbows wide, slowly moving with complete rounds of breath for 10 to 12 reps. And bring the arms down along your sides. Keep rolling the shoulder blades up and reach for opposite ankles, tapping back and forth, back and forth. Looking forward between the knees, keep the head lifted, working the obliques side to side, tiny little taps. This can be repeated 50 to 100 times. Bring the hands back behind the head and lower down. Lengthen out the entire body, reach the arms up overhead and point the toes. Deep breaths. Let's roll onto our sides. We're going to come into a modified side plank on our forearm. Stacking knees and feet, lift the hips up off the mat. The top hand can be placed on the hip as you dip the hips down low towards your mat and then squeeze the obliques and core to pull yourself up. Repeating 10 to 12 times. Pressing the right hand down into the mat. Lift and hold. Lower the hips. We'll switch sides. Stacking feet and knees. Space between shoulder and ear. Press the legs down as you squeeze the obliques and bring the hips up. Top hand on the hip. Continue to lower the hips down towards the floor and raise them up high. Continue to press the forearm down into the mat for 10 to 12 reps. Squeeze and lift and hold. And lower. Let's flip over onto our stomachs. And we'll press up into a tabletop position. From here, lift the right leg. Little pulses in your donkey kick as the sole of the foot reaches up high. Now take that knee out to the side for fire hydrants. Keeping the hips level, draw the low belly in. Foot is flexed as you reach that knee out to the side. Repeating for 10 to 12 reps. Moving into some larger circles here. We'll take that knee around, circling it towards the tricep, and then back underneath. Big circles with the knee. 10 to 12 reps, squeezing those obliques. And then take the hips back into a child's pose, Balasana, before we repeat on the other side. Extending the left leg up, little tiny pulses. Keeping the core and back engaged, squeezing glutes and hamstrings. and then lowering that knee. Let's bring it out to the side for 10 to 12 reps of your fire hydrant. Drawing the low belly in. Keep the back nice and flat. Distribute the weight evenly between your two hands and right knee. And let's circle the leg. Bringing that left knee up as close to your left tricep as you can, and then back underneath and around. Cinching the obliques. 10 or 12 reps here. Try to keep the shoulders from swaying, and then send those hips back towards Balasana, child's pose. Soften the belly, deep breaths. Let's move forward into our high plank position. Holding as long as you can, bring the shoulders up over the wrists. Tuck the belly button in towards the spine and keep pressing into the hands. Hips are level with the shoulders. Extend through the heels. Continue to hold, everything cinching its way towards the midline of the body. Lower the knees. Child's pose for a couple deep breaths before we move forward into our forearm plank. Hands can be clasped together, or you can keep palms down, pressing into the mat. Heels up over the toes. Hips in line with the shoulders. Nice flat back here. Keep the gaze down between the hands or at the top of your mat. Holding as long as you can. You can even pause the video. Nice job. Keep holding. And when you've had enough, drop the knees, sink the hips back. Balasana. All right, after your rest, we'll bring the legs out in front of us and roll all the way down onto your back. Keep the knees bent. Arms are ahead, palms together, and reach them over to your right side. Peel the shoulder blades up. Now start to lift and lower the left leg, bringing that heel to hover and then extending the sole of the foot up high. Inhale to lower the leg, exhale to crunch. 10 or 12 reps on this side. Continue to peel the shoulder blades up off the mat and then lower back down. We'll move over to the other side. Really reach the fingertips over to the left side of your thigh. Inhale to lower the right leg and exhale to lift it up. If your neck gets sore, you can also take one hand behind the head. 10 or 12 reps on this side. Dropping the heel to hover, lifting the leg back up. Drawing the low belly in, and then lowering the foot down to the mat and hands down along your side. Take a few deep breaths here. And then we'll take the hands back behind the head, clasp them together, and move through your yogi sit-ups. So moving slowly with the breath. Exhale to crunch and peel head and shoulders up. Inhale to lower back down. Pressing the low back down into your mat, engage the core. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower for 10 or 12 reps. Pressing the heels down. And now let's lift the legs up overhead. Hands come behind the head. Keep the low back pressing down. Feet are flexed. You can have the hands behind the back, reach them overhead, or they can be down along your sides as you lower the feet a third. Hold as long as you can, protecting the back. Then hug the knees into the chest. Take the arms out wide into a T as you let the knees fall from side to side. Bringing knees to hover. 3 or 4 times on each side. And that is it, complete.